Justin Bieber just went live again, and what he sang this time has fans completely divided. In the middle of a raw, emotional livestream, Justin began improvising lyrics that sounded less like a casual jam and more like a confession. Words about loving someone deeply, needing them back, and asking if they would choose him again. And now the internet is asking one big question: who was Justin Bieber really singing to? Because once you hear these lyrics, it's hard to believe they were random. And stick around, because by the end of this video, there's a detail most people completely missed that could change how this moment is interpreted. Welcome back to Celeb Juices. If you're new here, this is where we break down celebrity moments that the internet can't stop talking about, without the filters and without the fluff. And today's story is all about Justin Bieber, his latest livestream, and why fans think his words reveal more than he intended. Let's start with what actually happened. Justin Bieber has been going live more frequently, often using these moments to experiment musically. No polished studio, no finished tracks, just Justin, a microphone, and whatever emotions he's feeling in the moment. But during this particular livestream, something felt different, almost heavier, almost confessional. As he started singing, the lyrics quickly took a turn that caught fans off guard. He sang lines about needing someone's hand again, about being alone, about wanting reassurance that love would still be there when things get hard. And then came the lines that really sent social media into overdrive. Justin sang about wanting to let someone know that he loves them. Over and over again, not once, not twice, but repeatedly, as if the message itself mattered more than the melody. Fans immediately clipped the livestream and started sharing it across platforms. And once people read the lyrics back, the speculation exploded. Because this didn't sound like a generic love song. It sounded personal. Here's where things start to get interesting. Chapter 1. The headline drama. The biggest talking point is simple. Why did Justin Bieber choose these words? Lyrics like, "Would you take my hand again, I need you again," and "You've been so good to me," don't sound like something you sing casually. They sound like someone reflecting on a bond that already existed. A relationship with history. A relationship that's been tested. And then there's the line that hit hardest for fans. When Justin sings about being tired of trying on his own and needing someone's strength and hope. That single moment shifted the entire tone of the livestream. It didn't feel like performance anymore. It felt vulnerable. So the internet did what it always does. It started connecting dots. Some fans believe Justin was singing about his marriage. That these lyrics were an emotional expression of working through love, commitment, and growth with Hailey Bieber. Others weren't convinced. They pointed out that the language felt more like longing than reassurance. More like reaching than grounding. And that's where Selena Gomez's name inevitably entered the conversation. Because whenever Justin sings about needing someone back, fans immediately think of his past. And no past relationship of his was more public, more intense, or more emotionally charged than Selena Gomez. But before we jump there, let's talk about how fans reacted in real time. Chapter 2. Fan reactions and social media breakdowns. As clips spread, comment sections turned into battlegrounds. Some viewers insisted the lyrics sounded spiritual, almost like worship music. They pointed out how Justin often blends faith into his music, and how the repeated phrases about love, surrender, and hope could be directed toward God rather than a person. Others weren't buying it. They argued that the way Justin sang, the emotion in his voice, and the repetition of romantic phrases felt far too personal to be purely spiritual. They highlighted moments where his voice cracked slightly, where he paused, where he seemed to lose himself in the lyrics. And then there was the ending. Justin closed the session by transitioning into a song associated with worship, which only made the debate more intense. Was this intentional? Was he blending romantic love and spiritual devotion? Or was this a way to soften the interpretation after realizing how exposed the moment had become? So let me ask you directly. When you hear Justin sing these lyrics, do they sound like a love song to a person, or a spiritual expression? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this detail matters more than people realize. But there's another layer to this story that hasn't gotten enough attention yet. Chapter 3. The timing. This livestream didn't happen in isolation. Over the past few days, Justin Bieber has made several musical choices that fans are only now starting to connect. From lyric themes about love, surrender, and emotional exhaustion, to the tone of his performances feeling more stripped back and introspective. At the same time, Selena Gomez has also been in the spotlight for her own creative moves. Fans noticed that both of them seem to be leaning into music that feels personal, reflective, and emotionally raw. And while that could absolutely be coincidence, the timing has people talking. Especially because Justin has never fully shut down speculation about communicating through music. In fact, some fans believe he leans into it. Every time Justin sings something emotionally ambiguous, he knows people will analyze it. He knows his history. He knows the narrative that surrounds him. And yet, he continues to perform lyrics that invite interpretation rather than close the door on it. So here's another question for you. Do you think Justin is aware of how these lyrics come across, or do you believe he's simply expressing himself without thinking about how fans will react? Now let's address the elephant in the room. Chapter 4. What this could mean moving forward. There are three main theories floating around right now. The first is that this was a deeply personal moment about Justin's faith. A raw expression of needing love, guidance, and reassurance from God during a challenging season of life. This theory is supported by the worship style ending in Justin's long-standing connection to faith-based music. The second theory is that this was about his marriage. That Justin was expressing vulnerability, asking for reassurance, and acknowledging how hard love can be even when you're committed. Marriage isn't always easy, and some fans see this as him processing that reality through music. And the third theory, the one that refuses to die, is that this was about Selena Gomez. That the language of needing someone again, asking if they would take his hand again, and wanting to let them know he loves them points to unresolved emotions from the past. None of these theories can be proven. And that's exactly why the moment is so powerful. Justin didn't name anyone. He didn't clarify. He didn't explain. He let the lyrics speak, and by doing that, he allowed the internet to project meaning onto them. And projection is what fuels celebrity culture. But here's something important to remember. Improvised music often reflects emotion in the moment, not intention for interpretation. Artists process feelings through sound. That doesn't always mean there's a direct message or recipient behind every word. Still, when your life has been as public as Justin Bieber's, nothing exists in a vacuum. And that brings us to the final piece of this story. Chapter 5. Why this moment won't be forgotten. This livestream is already being referenced alongside Justin's previous emotional performances. Fans are comparing it to past moments where he sang unreleased lyrics that later became full songs. Which has sparked speculation that some of these lines could eventually evolve into official music. If that happens, this moment will be rewatched, reanalyzed, and reframed all over again. Because context changes everything, what feels ambiguous now could feel intentional later. And if Justin does release music that echoes these themes, fans will immediately trace it back to this livestream. So whether this was about faith, love, marriage, or memory, one thing is clear. Justin Bieber is in a reflective, emotional creative space. And when he goes live, those emotions come out unfiltered. Before we wrap up, I want to know your honest take. Do you think Justin was singing from a spiritual place, or an emotional one tied to someone specific? And do you believe artists owe fans clarification when moments like this go viral, or is the mystery part of the art? Let me know in the comments. I read them all, and if you think this story ends here, think again. Because in the next Celeb Juices video, we're breaking down the musical choices both Justin and Selena have made recently that almost no one is talking about yet. Trust me, once you see the pattern, you'll never hear these songs the same way again. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. And if you want to keep the conversation going, check out the next video on your screen right now.